Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Sherman Ray, and it is a wonderful Monday morning. Getting the broadcast out a little late this morning, but there's some things that were happening in the news this morning that I really wanted to get a hold of, and just wanted to make sure I got them all together. Many of us know that there was a brand new Miss USA this morning or this weekend. The first Arab American Miss USA. Congratulations to her. Um, of course, there'll probably be some pictures and some scandals of her coming out fairly soon. There always seems to be something. But what I want to talk to you about a little bit this morning was a one of the wonderful women of God and one of our political standouts, Angela McGlowan. Um, she is running, like so many other African Americans, running for political office. And she had a question because although she's running for office, as many people are, she is running as a Republican and as an African American. And 95% of African Americans voted Democrat in the last election and have traditionally voted Democrat at least in the last 60 years or whatever it's been. But I kind of wanted to address that because she asked a question, and her question was, is there going to be a problem with so many black Republicans trying to run for office within the black community? And if African Americans will actually support these African Americans as they run for political office in the GOP, or the Grand Old Party or Republican Party? My answer to her was, I think that she's going to be fighting an uphill battle for only one reason. There is a branding, if you will, that the Democrats have gotten, and they have gotten the brand that they are the party that runs and does all of their dealings with minorities in mind, with the downtrodden in mind, that sort of thing. And and in the last number of years, they have gotten basically a foothold in the Jewish community, in the Mexican community, in the African American community, any minority group. They have basically branded themselves as, "Hey, we are going to fight for you." Okay, but if you look back into history, and I wish we had time to go through all these, the list of the history of the African American community in America, and the Republican and the Democrat Party. I wish we had time to do that, but we don't. But if you look back and do any kind of a cursory look at what the two parties were involved and who stood for who and who blocked who, you will find that there is great evidence that the Republican Party has gotten a short end of the stick on this whole thing, and the Democrat Party has been more than what's the word for it? I'm looking for the word. They've taken advantage of the ignorance of a lot of people. Now, am I saying that the African Americans are ignorant? No, but yes, in a sense, I am. And why am I saying yes? I'm saying yes because by and large, the African American community has not dug into the roots and the things that have contributed to our demise and contributed to our continual level of poverty in this country. And there are a lot of factors that play into that. But one of the biggest factors that I see is a political factor that has tormented us for many many years. Is that an excuse for African Americans to be in the state they are? That we are. No, that's not an excuse. It's a factor. Okay. Well, if you look at, and we'll just in the time that I have, guys, and I don't have a lot of time, and this is very controversial. I know I've just lost my black man card and all this other stuff, but you all you still all have to love me because we're all going to heaven together. So you have to love me. Um, but I want to speak the truth. Um, if you look at the early days of the Republican Party and the African American Freemen Party, your first political people who were African American were all Republicans, guys. It was no surprise that the people who wanted to keep the slaves as slaves were in the South, and they were Democrats. And that party was trying to do everything it could to keep the African Americans as slaves. And the Republicans were trying to do everything they could, okay? And let me give a caveat to that. Republicans probably were had probably a lot of problems with them also. But if you look at an overall type thing, the Republican Party tried to do all they could to free and keep the African American free. Okay, the party of Lincoln. Lincoln was not a Democrat. Okay, let's be very clear about that. If you look at a timeline, and I wish we had time to look at this right now. If you look at a timeline of the from the abolition of slavery all the way up to the 60s and on into the 70s, you will see a clear-cut effort by the Democratic Party to keep the African American as enslaved as they possibly could. The Jim Crow laws, the voting rights laws, those kinds of things were not things that were brought about by the Republican Party. They were brought about by the Democrat Party. So what happened with this change in thought, where African Americans thought, oh wow, the Democrats are doing us a great thing here. Well, somewhere along the line, during the 60s, I believe it was, and close to the 70s, all of a sudden the Democrats started thinking to themselves, wow, we can't stop these people. We've got to find a way of controlling them, and not only controlling them, but getting them back on the plantation, as it were, and get them in our corner. And somehow or another, they were able to brand themselves, and I don't have all the details on this, but somehow or another, they were able to brand themselves as the party that was going to help the African American out. Okay? Well, obviously that has not happened, because if they would have, then guess what? We would have been in a lot better position than we are now. I challenge my African American brothers and sisters to continue to dig in and find out who is who and who is what. Okay, as far as Republican or as a Democrat, I am of neither party, guys. I just want to make that very clear. That the Democrats have never done anything for me, so I couldn't be a Democrat. And besides that, morally, I couldn't be them, because they believe in fighting for a woman's right to have an abortion. Okay, personally, I think that's repugnant, and that's a personal thing as a Christian that I just wouldn't be a part of. I'm not a Republican, okay, because Republicans have not done enough for me. Okay, as a people, they have set up a system that works great for a certain party of people, but they are not conservative enough for me, if you ask me. And so I'm neither one of them. I am an independent voter. I will vote for who is the best person I think is. But I just want to encourage my brothers and my sisters out there to look at the party lines, look at what they're voting for, look at what the truth is behind either one of the parties. And for my sister Angela, who's out there and she's going to vote, she's going to run for political office, and all my other brothers and sisters who are out there voting, running for office, I wish you the best. I believe that you need to brand yourself and communicate to the African American community that you're going to do something that is going to be best for them. What's going to be best for us? Not Republican, not Democrat, but what is going to be the best for the African American community? I think then you can actually find that people will actually vote for you, and that I think you'll find better inroads to what's going to happen. Anyways, this has been Sherman Ray. Hey, I appreciate you guys listening to me. Remember, you still have to love me, because I'm your brother. And we'll talk later, okay? See you later. Bye-bye.